Stafford and Bandy to do the ruck work. Bandy got his hand on it. McRae couldn't quite. Mitchell's quick kick gets it inside 50. Hunter's attack on the ball. Dunkley was behind him, taken by Godden at about 45 metres. Not bad, round the body. Chance for Wills to get onto it. Off the ground, couldn't quite. And Doreen able to force it over the line. So first score to Fremantle, a rush behind Andrew Wills. Bit of an enigma. Reasonably successful at Geelong, went to Fremantle last year. So a point to the Dockers.
Good kick in by Doreen. That could have nearly been paid to Lewis. He was second in line, but the umpire decides to call play on. Stafford, Godden, little kick off the ground, goes close to the boundary line and trundles over. And about left half forward for Fremantle. They've made the only attacking move. They've kicked it behind. It was rushed. And the weather conditions, which we've spoken about, very muggy. A real scramble there for possession, and the umpire will come in and bounce. The player's about 85 to 90 metres from the Fremantle goal. The reserves, the Sydney Swans beat Fitzroy Reserves by 80 points. They kicked 26-16 to 13-14. McGovern dumped off the football. McRae grabbed a little high, elects to play on quickly. Lewis. Now the Swans get clear. Doreen's hand pass. Cresswell, Philandia. Rebounds back. Doreen again. Philandia tackled, but got his right foot to it. Goes into the forward pocket area. In a little bit of strife there, but managing to gather the ball is Scott Chisholm. He takes a bit of a punt, goes straight across the front of the Swans' goal and finds Ben Allen. Ben Allen's got plenty of time to assess it, then kicks it wide where there's 2-on-1 in favour of the Swans. Now it's 3-on-2. A chance now for Fremantle through David Hines. Ben Allen eventually gets it and kicks it wide to the opposite side of the ground, and the mark is taken out there by Brad Rowe. Rowe for the Dockers. He's perhaps too far out to score. Goes in short, kicks it straight to the Swans. And an easy mark is taken by Dunkley, so that was a very, very ordinary turnover on behalf of Fremantle.
Yeah, skill error again, Robbo, because Hunter had led the other way and was terribly clear, but fortunately, look at this, coming across goal from the fence, Sydney. Well, gee, you do that, you've got to be spot on, particularly when you're only 30 metres out from goal, intercept by Wills, and you could have a goal scored. No, it's a terrible kick. Looking for Stafford.
Wills now to have a shot from 35 metres out straight in front. It's normally a good finisher. It's a goal kicking forward. And he's kicked the first goal of the match.
The knockout to Dyson. Dyson's kicked it into the full forward area, and a goal has been kicked for the Swans.
Hit the post, Robbo.
Hit the post, did it? Oh, well, bad luck there for Craig O'Brien. It looked as though it may have just snuck through for a goal, but anyway, the Swans are on the board. The kicking is being marked by Ben Allen.
Just waiting for Bandy to get across to kick to him. There he comes.
So pretty much stop-start at this stage. Punched away over for another boundary throw-in. Stafford, number 15 for the Swans, and his immediate opponent in this ruck contest will be Daniel Bandy, and Daniel Bandy has probably got the better of the two centre knockouts so far. Ben Allen, now Kelly. Kelly's little kick goes down the boundary line. Maxwell hooks the kick, and under those circumstances, I suppose he gathered about 35 metres for the Swans. Well within scoring distance now, but deep in their right forward pocket. Fremantle 1-1 lead. The Sydney Swans 1 behind. And again, well, this time it's Anthony Rocker doing the ruck work. Still Bandy for Fremantle. Kick it, gets it, Paul Kelly. Kelly kicks it to the front of the square. Just a little too high for Lockett. Goes to the back. O'Reilly, he's going to be crashed hard. Testing his injury out very, very early. And the ball forced over for another throw-in.
Left forward pocket, Swans in attack. O'Loughlin tapped it down. Bandy, Stafford, or rather Rocker, I should say. High tackle on Godden. Back to Bandy. Bandy's handball to Harding away at half-back, looking for Wills. Gets him on centre wing, the goal scorer in the match so far. Kicks to half-forward. Target was Rowe, cut off by McRae. And out of play, right half forward flank. Fremantle attacking. Tim McRae had a fair bit of footy at North Melbourne. It's been good in Sydney for a number of years
I think
now.
so, Bruce, yes. Excuse me.
He's done a very serviceable job. Gets a lot of possessions, can kick the ball long. Stafford at the back. McManus there. Mann trying to get a handball away to Mitchell. Creswell's handball okay to Doreen, who was prominent in an earlier Sydney attack. Kicks the ball to centre wing. Good tackle there by Kickett. Chisholm, I should say, on Kelly. Now Godden attacking, the advantage given to centre half forward. Nice take by Dunkley. He'll be keen to handball. Doesn't quite get to Maxfield. Allen didn't get a very good bounce. Taken by Dyson to McRae. This is where he's normally effective. O'Brien couldn't half volley. Fremantle with a chance now to mop up. Kick it on to put some pressure on. Then Leach. His handball was good. Little bounce by Chisholm. Normally takes his time and directs the ball beautifully into the centre to McManus.
McManus with the football for the Dockers. He kicks wide to right half forward, and the mark is taken out there by Abraham. His kick in towards centre half forward, punched away by Dunkley. Maybe he attempted to mark. Mann is there for Fremantle. Gets the hand pass back. Now a chance for Durkay. Brad Rowe. The hand pass was smothered. Then his kick to full forward has been marked. Well marked by Hunter. And Hunter will have a shot for Fremantle's second goal.
Yet to kick a goal in these 5 AFL games too, Robbo. Finished with 5 points last season and picked up 3 last week, so he needs to get a sausage on the board. Bit of confidence.
So Hunter is kicking from about 35 metres. The angle, his greatest concern. Just a slightly awkward kicking style, but this looks pretty good, is it? No, just offline to the right and through for a behind. So what's that? He's kicked 9 behinds now, Ross.
Yes.
So that elusive sausage roll still to come. Doreen for the Swans.
Creswell in the centre if he can get to him. He's going to go shorter to Dale Lewis. Good kick. Took a while, but always had it under control. Again, long kick into the centre square. Good stretch by Bandy. Roos his handball okay to O'Loughlin. Gets around McManus, goes towards O'Brien. Good football. Precision.
It's a good kick. Instinctive stuff, just turned off a couple of steps and popped it through Roos. Found him very quickly. O'Loughlin just nearly got a high one from McManus, but spot on kick.
Well, O'Brien and Lockett were a good four, weren't they, at St Kilda? And it'd be handy if they could do the same job at Sydney. Just given a little hook there for a behind. So Craig O'Brien with a couple of points. One hitting the post off the ground, and that one really a relatively simple shot for him. Chisholm, the designated kicker for the Swans, goes straight down the centre.
Not a bad kick either. Well outside 50 metres. No mark taken. The ball rebounds back towards centre half forward. Kelly. Geez, a tough little nut, isn't he? Paul Kelly. A very solid tackle on him there, but he was able to continue on. Mitchell, dispossessed there. O'Loughlin goes into goal for the Swans. Nice looking kick, just floats across the face and through for another behind to Sydney. So no luck as far as their goal shooting is concerned at this stage.
Good intercept there, clever. Probably could have set it up a bit better, Robbo, I think, for Lockett.
Just didn't quite get the proper kick on the ball. That kick in has been marked by Kickett. Kickett for the Dockers. Goes further afield. Player on his own is McManus. McRae minding the mark diligently. McManus a short kick. Good running there provided by Godden. Godden's got a player in support. It's Jones. Jones goes down the wing and then kicks in towards centre half forward. Big punch from behind. Chance for Rowe. Leaves it for McGovern. Number 19 is Durkay. He's flattened as he tries to get the hand pass away. Now the umpire sees a free kick. It'll go to the Swans to be taken by Dunkley.
Goes short. Creswell gets him at centre half back. Quickly on. Will go long in the Lockett direction. Hasn't quite got that far. O'Reilly unable to take the mark. Kicker may have put him off in front of him. And it'll be a bounce about 45 metres from Sydney's goal.
You don't think the presence of Tony Lockett steaming down from full forward might have put him off, Bruce?
No, not. Derek Kickett on the bench. He was replaced by Wade Chapman a couple of minutes ago.
Bandy, good stretch. Dyson. Chisholm and Allen. Allen off the ground. Nice trap there by Stafford. Back inside 50. Rocker front spot. O'Reilly didn't hold it. Lockett will be on to him with O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin again off special skills. Gives O'Brien a chance in the pocket. Sizes up the opportunity. Hooks back with the left foot. Good chance for Kelly. He's got it. Brave mark. Stood his ground. O'Brien doing the right thing by centering the ball. And Paul Kelly, the Brownlow medalist, able to take the mark.
Yeah, you're right, Bruce. Just some players would have turned and tried to ping that through, but Leach unable to interfere with that there, and Kelly just stood his ground, as he always will.
It's going to kick from 20 metres out. Little angle, should go.
Goals kicked in the match so far. One to Andrew Wills for the Dockers and one to Kelly for the Swans. The Swans get the ball to half forward, but it's chopped off here by Chisholm. He gets back onto his right foot and then kicks into the middle of the ground, looking for the captain, Ben Allen. Rather dubious, but may have been awarded the mark, if not the free kick. And he kicks it in towards full forward. In towards the pocket, knocked away from Peter Mann by Dunkley, over for a boundary throw in. Left forward pocket for Fremantle.
Paul Roos initially, Robert, had the job on Mann, but he moved off Mann to pick up Hines, who's more mobile, a bit more of a spring. So Dunkley with the job on Mann. And underrated player, Dunkley. Deceptively strong and a very good defender.
So the throw in the left forward pocket. Knocked out again by Stafford. He's probably got a maybe a centimetre advantage there over Peter Mann in these ruck contests. Big man at the back. Greg Stafford. Swans have been looking for a consistent player in their team as a ruckman. Wills couldn't get his foot to it. A real struggle here. The umpire's picked a free kick. And he's going to the Swans. It may be Maxfield, is it?
Yeah, played
it's going
for
to be
scoop.
Okay. So Maxfield, ex-Richmond player. Plenty of pace and a good left foot kick too. Back towards the centre of the ground. Free kick, push out. And it will go to the Swans again to be taken by Dunkley. He's close to the middle of the ground.
Yeah, they'll kick it. The intention was right. Just got there a fraction early.
So the Swans get the ball now towards half forward. Up high there was Leach, couldn't take the mark. Lewis tries to get the hand pass to Dyson. He was hemmed in. Away goes Leach. Could be run down by O'Brien. Good chase provided by Craig O'Brien. Ball spills to the middle of the ground. Kick it, left it behind. Cresswell in there with Dale Kickett, and the umpire will come in and bounce. Cresswell, the Swans' best and fairest winner.
94.
94. And been a good player too. Mitchell gets the hand pass away. McManus leaves it behind. Able to get after it again and sweep the hand pass out to Chisholm. He's well tackled, brilliantly tackled. Now the advantage is with the Swans. O'Brien's little kick has been marked by Mr. Personality, popularity here at Sydney, Tony Lockett.
Well, he's been frustrated early because the ball, he's just so keen to atone for not only his own performance, but he knows just how much value is to the side, and that's the combination they look for with O'Brien and Lockett, who did it pretty well at St Kilda.
Gee, the tackle on Chisholm, I didn't quite see who it was, but O'Brien, was it? He did pick up the crumbs, but it certainly set this opportunity up for Lockett to shoot for goal from 25 metres. Oh, he's missed. So a huge build-up and a big letdown there. Lockett misses to the right, and that's the story. 1-4 plays 1-2.
10-8. Chisholm goes long. Bandy, the target. Oh, lovely fly by Rocker from the side. Had the drop on him, but took the mark. Comes across the ground to Stafford in the heart of the centre square. He's going to come right across to Lewis. So from one half-forward flank to another, Lewis goes in short, finds his man, and Cresswell. So a bit of loose checking by Fremantle as we take another look at Rocker's mark, a beauty. Right round the circle there, Sydney, didn't they? From one half-forward flank to the other and then back into the centre.
Gee, what an exciting player Anthony Rocker is, huh?
Yeah.
Still only a teenager.
Yeah, 18 years of age. all in front of him, Robbo. Creswell's kick. It's the post, so the second poster for the Swans in the opening quarter. They're on top at the moment after Fremantle had the best of the first few minutes.
Sometimes these situations can just ping back against you if you don't capitalise.
That's right,
They've had plenty of the play, haven't they, in the last few minutes?
Jared Neesham's changed McManus off the ground, Norris to come on.
Chisholm's kick in is pretty good, and it finds Godden. He's still in the Swans attacking forward 50 metres, but he gets the hand pass wide. That kick short, been taken by O'Loughlin, looking to play on. He may be asked to now, then gets back and kicks back in towards the forward pocket. Good mark taken by Dyson in front of Leach. Usually a pretty good kick of the football. And Dale Lewis, has he been paid? No, it's been punched away. Well,
I think he's been paid, Robert.
I quite wonder whether that was a mark.
He's pretty casual,
wasn't he?
Not sure if our camera angle helps us much here, but he was very, very casual. It was a spot-on kick.
Well, I thought it was successfully punched away. Anyway, Lewis has got the football. He's within scoring distance for Sydney. Doesn't really favour his left foot, but he does it pretty well. Registers are behind. And we'll have another look at this.
I'm not sure the Freo play got close enough, Robbo. No, he's well behind Wills. Wouldn't have had a chance to get a hand in there.
Kick in by Chisholm again. It's been chopped off once again by the Swans. Maxfield's great anticipation, and he's marked about 40 metres out, pretty well straight in front.
Yes, and pressure on Scotty Chisholm, because he did the same thing a couple of times last weekend against West Coast. Just gave the ball up easily like that. It's all very well to keep possession coming off the back half there like that from a kick out, but you've just got to be spot on. If you're unsure, clear the ball as far past 50 as you can.
So Maxfield, that lovely left foot kicking style by Maxfield, and it looks like another miss. So that scoreline for the Swans mounting miserably, 1-7 to 1-2. They lead by 5 points.
Yeah, it's on your three of their best kicks. Lewis, Lockett, and now Maxfield, all missing from certainly within range.
And O'Brien, the other one, who's a goal kicker too.
Yes.
So Chisholm will be a little nervous at this stage. He'll be asked to kick now. Last chance. Very short, and gets to O'Reilly. Came into the match under a bit of an injury cloud. Went off early last week. Kicked to centre wing. McRae able to get in front of Bandy. And it's been a flat old start to the game, hasn't it? With both sides struggling early. Up to 140 league games now for McRae. So he's in that veteran class. Rocker, Bandy, Dyson. Can't get clear. By David Howlett coming in, and he'll bounce it.
Bruce back on demand at the moment, and Dunkley back to Hines. Pocket.
Bandy. Jones's handball. He's looking towards Norwich, taken by Kelly. Kelly short kick to Creswell. Creswell's handball. Put Doreen under pressure. Leach's handball to Wills. Couldn't take it cleanly. Gets a second go. Sweeps it out wide, but not effectively. Philandia. Few options. Little left footer. Found the boundary line. The feeling here that if someone like a Kelly can take charge for 5 minutes, or Ben Allen maybe at the other end, and a burst can come from one team or the other, because at the moment they're both in an Indian wrestle at 1-7 to 1-2 and not much happening. Stafford, Godden, back to Mann. Mann's little left footer. That was cute. To Mitchell. Mitchell with a bit of pace, able to run away from his man and go to Hunter. Couldn't hold the mark. Philandia gets a free kick. Just held on to by Norwich. Back pocket Philandia.
Kingsley Hunter, they've been too harsh on the young lad. He's got to hang on to those passes like that. Limited opportunities at full 40. Dropped one last week in the last quarter. He had to take the mark and kick the goal. Makes such a difference to the outcome of the game.
Well, the Swans get clear of full back. The mark is taken by Dunkley. Handball over the top. Roos will go back to Dunkley. Back to Roos. In turn, Kelly. A little bit of space there for Kelly to pop it out wide for O'Loughlin. And very loose limb. O'Loughlin takes the mark and then kicks it inside towards Roos, who has taken the mark about 75 metres, maybe a little closer, but still 2 kicks from goal as far as the Swans are concerned. goes short, and Lewis has taken the mark. Lewis is still too far out to kick a goal, but a great kick. Precision kicking there by Dale Lewis. Not much room for error there, and he's put it with Lockett, and Lockett is only 40 metres out, perhaps a little closer, directly in front.
And that's a great example of how to wait for the setup, which Paul Roos did. Waited for the space to occur, then said to Dale Lewis, come into that short pass, and then the precision passing by Lewis finds Lockett, who had led before but was too congested, found him that time.
Lockett has kicked it behind. He's now kicked 1-1.
To Philandia from the centre, goes to full forward. Lockett couldn't quite trap it. O'Loughlin, now Chisholm, hip and shoulder by Maxwell on Harding. Back to Chisholm, kept it in play. Handball good to Norris. Norris at half-back, runs a metre or two, then bounces to Mitchell. His handball not good, missed Norwich completely. McRae comes across, holds it up out of bounds between half-forward left and centre wing for Sydney. So, Fremantle getting the first goal of the match, but Sydney on top since. Could have been 4 or 5 in front at least, the Swans. Jones held on to, should get a free kick.
Yeah, that's right, Bruce, that's why it's gone.
At half-back. Good goer, isn't he, Jones? Honest play. He's Lockett and O'Reilly. This is happening at centre-half forward at the moment. A little bit of a wrestle, but they're sorting that out. The game goes on. Rowe unable to take the handball and out of play. And the emergency umpire and the umpire coming out just to have a word to the two.
Tell you, Lockett trying the old trick of treading on the bloke's toes and giving him an even shoulder to knock him over.
Does it work, Ross?
It has worked.
Godden, quick, inside 50. Roos getting back with Hunter. Huskus, Seymour, another one of the youngsters for Sydney. Good kick.
Just come on the ground, cricket.
The 33-year-old. That's a great kick, isn't it? To Chapman, to Dunkley. Dunkley goes to full forward. O'Brien held on to, must get a free kick. And made the most of it, but it was there.
Do you think Bernie Quinlan's ever chewed on his words that Kickett was gone about 2 years ago? When he was, I think he was recruited from Tatura by the Swans, wasn't he?
We'll be cheering him now, Robert, for reminding everyone about it.
Oh, he's a terrific player, Derek Kickett.
O'Brien from 40 metres. He's got it.
Two of the Swans goal kickers, Lockett and O'Brien, getting into the action. They've kicked 3-7 to 1-2. They lead now by 17 points. Chance for Jones onto his left foot. Kicks wide out in front of Wills, but the bounce is a little awkward. Just runs itself away from the player, and the boundary umpire will throw it in. Andrew Wills, the Fremantle goal kicker. So Stafford and White now onto the ground for the Dockers. Kick forward by Mitchell in towards full forward. Good contest there. Terrific stuff shown there by Seymour. He takes a solid mark. He plays on quickly. Transfers play to the far side of the ground. Philandia looking to play on. Succeeds in doing so. Dunkley, handball over the top. A little awkward for McRae. Gets back after it. He's still got the football. And David Hines has been awarded the free kick. And that's an awkward hand pass for Ben Allen. In goes Dunkley to help out Cresswell. Still there is Ben Allen. Gets his right foot to it. It's out on the full, I feel, in the finish. So the free kick will be taken down there for the Swans by Scott Doreen. Doreen, the elected kick-in player. Beautiful kick back towards the middle of the ground. The umpire has seen a free kick, a push out, and it will go to Big Stafford.
I couldn't help but thinking, Robbo, of David Hines getting that free kick. Works hard, go back and have a kick.
Stafford looking for Kickett. Leach with him. Chapman back to Leach. Good handball to Godden in the clear with a bounce. It's going to go another one, then decides to go short. Makes Hines stretch a fair bit, not a particularly good kick. Tackle on him was okay by Philandia. McRae, Doreen, Creswell, centering kick. Kelly the target. Excellent mark in the front spot. Will come back. Lovely stretch and good take. Kelly gives it off now to Creswell. Creswell towards Lockett in a very strong position. O'Reilly at the back. Leach, Jones. High tackle by Lockett on Jones. And a free kick to the Fremantle defender. He really had him, actually. Had he been able to bring the tackle around his waist, he was gone. Leach's kick not good. Huskus didn't quite take the mark. Wills tries a little toe poke. Now he's gone holding the ball. Maxfield. It's a good kick normally. Lockett goes short for him. Maxfield goes towards the goal square, looking for Kelly. Almost. Harding under pressure, left foot. McManus needs a good bounce. Probably quite happy to see it go out.
I'm not sure why Maxfield wouldn't go to Lockett there. He led perfectly to him straight up the middle of the ground and just ignored completely. That's what he's there for. Anyway, it may be a little ploy for them, Ross, maybe a dummy lead. I can't see the advantage of Robbo, but yeah, look, it could be. Well, the ruck contest in the right forward pocket really resulted in nothing much except for the football going back for the boundary umpire to repeat the dose. That's Harding for the Dockers. And the player that Tony Lockett tackled just a few minutes ago will be having second thoughts when Tony comes running at him again for another one of those bone crushers. Anthony Jones, I think it was.
Was it?
And,
how is he? Is he
taking a couple of deep breaths?
Is he all right? Because, by gee, it was a severe one, wasn't it? There he is, Big Tony and Stephen O'Reilly back near the front of the goal square. The ball comes to the back. Leach a little kick, not bad. Mitchell has the football and he transfers play. Big punch by Stafford, gathered by Harding for Fremantle. Little kick is okay and finds Wills. Wills looking to play on. He does so now and he thumps it towards the goal square. Hines is from behind, couldn't take the mark. The crumbs are gathered by Philandia. Philandia's little left foot kick is an educated one, close to the line of Trundles, but the siren has sounded anyway. It's irrelevant where the football finishes because at quarter time, the Swans lead. They've had 10 scoring shots. They're 3-7-25. They lead the Dockers 1-2-8. That's a 17-point margin. Yes, there's no question. Once Sydney's settled through the midfield and some of their ball getters like Kelly, Maxfield and then Dyson on occasions were able to give the opportunities to players like Lockett and O'Brien. They peppered the goals early, but once they straightened up, they looked far more efficient. And then Fremantle, on the other hand, when they went forward, just couldn't quite find the right formula. Hines has been pretty well held by Roos. Hunter's had a couple of chances, but hasn't kicked particularly well. I just think their options on a few occasions going forward have been the incorrect ones, but still early.
Rodney Eade will be pretty happy, I think, after what he's seen in the opening quarter, with Sydney leading by 17 points. It's 3-7 to 1-2.
That's what I like, the thing about football.
The boundary line, Dennis Rich holds the ball aloft, the start of the second term. Fremantle with the scoring in, as Russell's explained, with the breeze going down towards the right. They trail 8-25. Kelly out of the centre. He was good in the first quarter. To Rocker, back to Kelly, now straightens the body up, goes towards full court, floating hole kick, gets in the Lockett direction with Strick. You'd back him from here. He's a beauty, isn't he, the big fellow? What his trademarks?
There's no question there, Bruce. I mean, his strength and agility for his size to get around, and he's in that area, as you say. Bit of a favourable bounce, but again, poor Kelly featuring. Got the ball out of the centre in the first place. Bit of pace and then strength and tenacity. Whopped the old kick, but to the advantage of his big full forward. There it is.
Rocker wasn't bad in that passage of play either. The grasp and handball under a little bit of difficulty to hit Kelly. So the football for the Sydney Swans' fourth goal was complimentary. 4-7 to 1-2. Lockett has kicked 2. And Bandy gets the effective tap out, but it's the Swans that take the ball away from the centre. Cresswell's kick out in front of Lockett, and Lockett able to run onto it. Oh, we'll have a look at who that guy was. I'll take his number, said Tony. Short pass, a little bit too severe there for Maxfield. It's kicked back towards the centre wing area, gathered by McManus. Handball over the top. Mitchell runs away from the half-back area in towards the middle of the ground where Allen collects it. Little hand pass over the top was very well intercepted by O'Loughlin. And the Swans will hold it up in the middle of the ground. McManus tied up there by Cresswell. And the Swans fans happy with that because it looked as though it may have gone down to the Fremantle full forward area. Instead, it's a ball up near the centre of the ground. Stafford gets his right fist to it. It's still at half forward. Stafford dispossessed. Godden, now McRae, drags his opponent away from the football. Norrish in the middle of the action. The ball rebounds for Kelly. He overruns it. Rocker and McManus. Ball goes wide for Mitchell to get it to Godden. Godden goes long in towards half forward. The ball spills to the back. Chance here for David Hines. He gets it clear. Now handball over the top by Durkay. The goal should be kicked, and it is kicked by Abraham for the Dockers.
Abraham with his first goal today. McRae well done out of the centre, then caught by Mitchell, has a second go. Norwich tries to get through. Dyson blocked pretty well, but the left foot didn't go far. It'll be play on. Maxfield under pressure for Landy. That's good football by the Swans. Wanting to hug the line, couldn't make it in the end, and floating out of play. Lovely give by Maxfield under pressure. Kick it short to Leach at half back. Bandy, half volley. Forced to go on. Gets it inside 50. Mann and Roos, I should say. And at the back, Seymour has made a good start to this match. Short kick to Huskis, okay. Uses Creswell, changes direction cleverly to get away from Hines. Left foot, O'Brien, the short forward for Sydney, caught out a bit there. Not a good kick when you're going to kick to O'Brien, just popping it up in the air. And Bandy was able to take a comfortable mark. His kick's a shocker. He was looking for Wills. Went straight to Huskis. Huskis plays on quickly. Chapman. He goes in towards O'Brien. Harding with him. O'Brien just working to the front spot, working in front, held on to, no free kick, out of play.
Yeah, just got him.
Just ran him out.
Just enough pressure, yep. Godden comes off for Fremantle, replaced by McGovern.
Craig O'Brien.
Don't think the umpire's taking any notice of you, Craig. Trying to indicate that he was held by the jumper.
Rocker works Bandy out of it. Maxfield off the ground. And
Free kick for holding on to Rocker, Bruce, against Bandy.
it's just off the play, wasn't it, in the end now?
You'd have to suggest that the Swans have had the better of the umpiring decision so far.
Rocker goes to the goal square, looking for Lockett. Gives him a chance. Chapman's kicked the goal. Good roving effort by Chapman. And a couple of goals early in the second term for Sydney has established a nice little cushion at 5-7 to 2-2.
Yeah, there's a free kick just off the ball there you saw just on the left of screen to Rocket against Bandy. And they're set up here, nearly a mark to Lockett. Kick it coming in from the front, as Chisholm, I should say, to try and spoil. Just couldn't quite get a hand to it. Chapman just mops up like a good small fella should do.
Yes, good goal. Kicked by Wade Chapman. That's the Swans' fifth. Bandy continues to dominate the centre bounces, but the Swans take it away again. Dyson's kick towards full forward. Lockett has got the football, then loses it. Still got hold of it. Rocker, a kick across his left shoulder will be marked. No, it's not. If it's not, it's merely a free kick paid to the captain of the Dockers, Ben Allen. His kick goes wide, and the mark is taken there by Abraham. Abraham for Fremantle is at right half back. His kick is a good one. Goes past the wing, nearly to half forward. The mark nearly paid. The advantage, no, that can't be an advantage, Ross.
No, take a mark.
Under the rules.
Come back and take the mark. On a few occasions, man's been able to get free like that from Roos, get a kick that's favourable. O'Brien comes off now for Sydney. Grant on.
The kick by Mann towards full forward. Not a mark taken. Dunkley. Handball wide for Huskis to have a go at it. He's taken down by Wills. Fairly, says the umpire. Kick off the ground, goes wide, close to the wing. The players out there, Chapman and Chisholm. Chisholm leaves it. Now Bandy, who's doing pretty well, gets it to McManus. McManus, a short kick, has been marked by Leach. Leach runs on, and from between the centre and centre half forward, kicks to full forward. Oh, nearly the mark taken by Hunter. And as you said in the first term, Ross, when he gets his hands on it, he really has to grasp those chances. He's disappointed.
Yes, you feel sorry for him a little, but as you mentioned, Robert, they've got to be taken. They don't come much better than that.
Well, the kick in, chance for the Fremantle side to take it back in. Norrish, short kick is all right. Made it a little difficult for Bandy, but he was able to take the mark in front of Cresswell.
Hunter on the lead. Front spot was Stafford, and then Dunkley at the back. Good distance for Dunkley. Goes to centre wing. Chisholm athletically did it very well. Gets away from Chapman. Goes to full forward with a long ball. Hines getting back with Seymour. Out of play, right forward pocket. Fremantle attacking. They're 2-3. Swans are 5-7. First match of the season.
Yes, now Kingsley Hunter is off and be replaced by Jeff White. So the two big ruckmen, White and Bandy, now on the ground.
At the SCG, so the first time the Swans have been at home this year. That well done in the end by Dunkley, because that little snap had a chance from Mitchell, but forced through for a behind.
The change too by Rodney Eade. Kick it to come back on. And going off is Cresswell.
So a few changes here, both Gerard Neesham and Rodney Eade. Oh, Doreen short, O'Loughlin has been very impressive. Takes the mark. He's got Philandia very wide if he wants him, but Durkay probably too close. And he goes the other side. Gets Seymour. Tries to run off his man. Kicks to centre wing. Grant the target with him Harding. Out of play. Lockett with a couple of goals. O'Brien, Kelly and Chapman, the goal scorers for Sydney. Abraham and Wills for Fremantle. Centre wing. Mitchell just tries to draw O'Loughlin to him, but finally gets it to Wills. Wills high ball. Hines over the top of Seymour. Ruse getting back, got a nice bounce. Stops, balances up, gets it to Seymour. He takes on man, gets away from him pretty easily. He's in trouble here. He threw it. Yeah. It's gone. Couldn't get away from Mitchell. Mitchell standing his ground, and then threw the ball up in the air. Mitchell goes short. Hines, about 45 metres. Been a goal kicker over the years, Hines. And think back to the first quarter where he could have had a shot inside 50 and went to handball on. He had tremendous success in South Australia before he went to West Coast when he played in all those premierships at Port Adelaide. He's been a really fine footballer for a number of years. And that kick just missing. It's a good pick-up, isn't it, for Fremantle?
Oh, a terrific pick-up, and you know, sort of player that's mixed emotions in Perth. I know, Bruce, with a lot of supporters at West Coast. Sad to see him go, but he gets an opportunity. Interesting too, Bruce, that Gerard Neesham has got his skipper Ben Allen picking up the opposing skipper Paul Kelly because of Kelly's effect on the game so far.
The kick in goes in the direction of Dale Lewis, but he's outpointed clearly by Abraham. Abraham's kick back towards the full forward area. The Swans combine. McRae is on the end of the hand pass, then kicks across his left shoulder. Not bad either. Gives it to Lewis with consummate ease in the finish. Maxfield runs in towards centre half back and then kicks long towards half forward, but a good mark. Excellent mark taken by Jones at centre half back for Fremantle. He plays on. Comes across the ground. Durkay is on centre wing. Ruse on the mark. Kick short, taken by Norrish. Looking to play on, now he does, into the pocket. Wills can go in. He's going to be hemmed in, but he gets onto his left foot, kicks for goal. Just fades across to the left and through for a behind to Fremantle. So Andrew Wills 1-1. The Dockers 2-6. They trail by 19 points, 37 plays 18. Godden having a spell on the bench for the Dockers during this second quarter. And Scott Doreen to kick it in for the Swans.
Breeze got hold of that a bit, didn't, and floated it away. I'm just wondering if it's difficult to kick goals at that end. Sydney missed a few, and now Fremantle have been inaccurate at the right-hand end. Doreen keeping it low. Ruse the target. Kick it. Well done at the back. Maxfield starting to get some touches. A good kick to O'Loughlin, who's all on his own. He can go to Lockett. At full forward, works to the front. Fantastic mark. Champion Tony Lockett, one of the really greats of the game. He stood his ground beautifully there. It was a lovely build-up, wasn't it?
Yes, I suppose like this is how you like it, even though he just used his body to hold it rightly at bay. He just took a couple of steps forward and read the flight of that ball beautifully.
He's kicked a couple. He missed his first shot, and he's kicked one from a set shot in the first quarter, and then that one over the shoulder early in this term. You'd back him 9 out of 10 from here over the years. Be nearly a good thing, but that's the one.
3 steps and too close to the man on the mark. I mean, that's the technical side that can upset your fluency.
I'd like to have the figures. I just wonder in the last year or two if he's kicked as accurately as he did in his absolute heyday, Lockett. But we don't have them with us at the moment.
Well, a career average of nearly 5. You know, 1,009 goals.
His accuracy rate was enormous too.
He had something like about 23 or 24 on end last year, didn't he?
But he does average about 70% over the years, goals to points. Anyway, here's Lewis at centre wing. Leach. Rose.
Yeah, good meet.
Lewis's handball good to Grant.
Grant's kick into the middle, taken by Dyson. He's able to get around onto his left foot, then forced to kick high. Having to sit there, Lockett comes out. It's punched away, back towards the half-back area for Fremantle. Ben Allen, oh, down he went. Kelly was very fierce in his attack on the footy. Ben Allen gets up quickly and will take the free kick. Have a look at Kelly.
Over the ball.
Well, I suppose
You've got to protect the player with his head over the ball, Robbo.
And it was the Brownlow medalist from last year. Whether that has any significance, one wonders. Swans now. Ruse, quick hands. Doreen, this kick, not bad. At the feet there of Lockett. Nearly able to gather it. It was quite athletic. Kick forward by Grant. He's wide, very wide. Out of bounds on the full. So the free kick to be taken for the Fremantle side by Chisholm. He's in the right back pocket. Short kick, looks for White. And not paid. Umpire calls play on. It's still close to the line. Now they may get clear. This is Abraham for Fremantle. High kick again towards their half-forward line. Not taken by Doreen. Chance for Philandia. Hand pass really not to his team's advantage. Durkay. Nearly very well tackled by Rose. Gets the kick away. He's disappointed. He whacks his right fist into his left palm of his hand as the ball goes very wide and misses completely. So the free kick to be taken for the Swans by Seymour.
Short to Lewis in the back pocket. He hugs the boundary line. McRae the target. White with the run at it. And just the ball out of play. Right in front of the 7 Sport commentary position at the Sydney Cricket Ground. 5-8 to 2-6. Halfway through the second quarter. Swans by 20 points. Both teams coming off losses last week. Fremantle not by much in the end against West Coast. Sydney real thrashing against Adelaide. Philandia's left foot kick. Centre wing Chapman tried to force it on Rocker. Clever. Gave himself the opportunity. He's a promising young player. Gets it to Maxfield. Maxfield straightens up towards Lockett. Got a reasonable ball bounce now. Could give off. He's on his left foot. That's going to be close. Just missing. And a behind.
See a clean handle at the first grab by Lockett. Could see a handball going to either Kelly or Maxwell. I think it was running past in front of him. Would have been fantastic for them to go around and kick the goal. If you're a Sydney Swan supporter, of course.
I think the fans were getting a bit excited. I think they thought he dobbed it, Ross, from over here, this side of the ground. The kick in by Harding. Looking for Jones. Upped off the football by Rocker. His attack on the football has been pretty good at young Anthony Rocker, but Jones comes away with the footy. His kick towards half forward for the Dockers, and the mark is taken there by Durkay. Durkay in front of Scott Doreen. The kick towards full forward. No mark. The ball at the back. Opportunity for Brad Rowe. Gets around onto his right foot. Kicks it high. Gives the Swans defenders a chance. Was that a little push out? No. Just as the umpire.
Malcolm Blight-esque that, really. Just a holding push. It wasn't a push forward. So Bandy, who played a couple of games at full forward last year, resting down there with Hunter off and White into the ruck.
Just a slightly awkward kicking style, but not bad. I tell you what, the result is perfect. It's a goal to Fremantle.
3-6. Abraham out of the centre looking for wheels. Huskus doesn't take it cleanly, gets another go. Philandia also had a fumble. Another go for him. Now Dyson to Rose, who's come onto the ground. To Chapman. to kick it. Now he's got Lewis out here if he can get it to him. Does now, clever. Lewis keeps it wide. Kelly and Allen together. Now McRae inside. Lockett goes now. Kelly kicks it to him in the pocket. Gets him. Timing's so important for the full forward in Stephen Lockett. Just waited, didn't he, until Kelly had balance.
Yeah, some good use of the ball coming through midfield there. And that's a Dockers type set up there where you stand back from your opponent, give yourself a chance to look to see what's down forward. The kick was good.
Creswell on Ross and Rocker off. So Lockett in the pocket. And he's kicked a couple. He's had 5 shots for goal so far today, so he's been getting plenty of the football. It's a little hook, so...
He's still up a few steps too, Bruce. I'd rather see him go back a bit further and take half a dozen at least to go forward.
So missing the lot there. We almost missed the lot up here. We could have caught that, Robbo.
It would have been the best slips catch I've seen since Mark Taylor.
Everything's safe now. McManus to kick it in. So Sydney, 5-9-3-6.
They're giving Freo a chance.
They are. They're hanging in Freo with Sydney's inaccuracies around goal. Abraham had it robbed by Creswell. Well played to McRae.
Oh, it was too, Bruce, by Darren Creswell. McRae's kick into the pocket. Not all that good by Dean McRae. Gives it away to McManus. McManus able to back himself in the race after the football with Tony Lockett. Oh, here's a chance for the Swans to keep it in. McManus, can he resurrect that very ordinary hand pass? Lockett gets it out to Maxfield. Maxfield races after it. He's tackled by Jeff White. Didn't have to put him. Maxfield's free kick, much to the disdain there of Jeff White. He thought he was doing the right thing, but if you have another look, the ball spilling and White just continuing to take Maxfield to the ground. Now Stuart Maxfield, we've mentioned about his kicking ability. He's not all that far out, only about 35 metres, but it's just a tricky breeze blowing across the face of goal, and he sprays it off to the right through for another behind. That's his second behind in that Sydney scoreline of 5-9, and Gavin Rose having a spell.
He's just copying one from Abraham there, so a few stars for a while.
Here's a chance now. Stafford gets it across to Creswell. His kick was smothered. Now O'Brien, little left foot kick, looking for Lewis. Chopped off by Mitchell, and the Dockers get clear.
To centre wing. Chisholm on the end of it. He goes to ground, but his handball sloppy. Second go gets to McManus. Inside to Peter Mann, who's had a quiet start to this match. Not a good kick. McRae with a chance. White. Pretty good effort by the youngster. On the up to Norrish. Norrish has got Bandy on a lead. He doesn't quite get to him. Huskus goes for the boundary line. And it gets there. Left forward pocket. So Fremantle deep in attack. A goal here would tighten things right up. It's 5-10-3-6. Sydney right on top in terms of having the ball in the forward line and shots for goal, but not a long way in front. Bandy, Stafford at the back. Mitchell clever, back turn. Good smother though by Seymour. Back to Hines. Had a fair bit of it. Should be gone. Umpire's going to bounce it, David Howard. Stafford and Mann. Rose handball. McManus 45 metres out. Goes for goal. Looks pretty good. It's got it.
So the ruck contest resulting in the ball going forward for the Dockers. Maybe chopped off. Dean McRae, now Roos, has the football in underneath there somewhere. Jason Norrish, the Dockers player, putting the pressure on Paul Roos, and the umpire will bounce. There's O'Loughlin being attended to by the trainers on the boundary line. Looks like it may be a bit of a calf problem. Oh, up high was Jeff White. He's a high leaping youngster. Nearly taken away by Doreen. Now Wills. Little kick will find Durkay. Couldn't control it, but he's able to recover his position. And then with the left foot, he's kicked the goal for Fremantle. That's their 5th. So the margin is only 4 points now in favour of Sydney. 5-10 to 5-6. We've got 4.5 minutes left in the second quarter.
And again, this is the lapse in concentration that Rodney Eade was very much aware before the game, that if you allow your side to drop like that, the opposition, like the Dockers, can pick up very quickly with limited opportunities, turn you around. Dipper's sister.
5-10, 5-6, the new mascot there a moment ago in the grandstand for Sydney. Stafford, Maxfield onto it. Good tackle though with some speed there by Chisholm. Kelly attacking it. Creswell's handball inside, good. Lewis under pressure from Kickett. Having a lovely patch here, Fremantle. Jones has kicked to a half forward. Mann and Durkay. Handball inside should come. Hines could put them in front from 30 metres out. He's got it.
By 2 points. Cresswell gets it forward for Sydney towards their centre-half forward area where Leach gathers. He's nearly run down by Chapman, but he gets the kick away out wide. McManus leads in the race. The ball bounces favourably for him. His kick towards the wing. It's been marked by Ben Allen. No one really to kick to, so he bombs away towards half forward. It's punched back towards the 50-metre line. Gather by Huskus. Ball spills for Brad Rowe. He can't control it with 3.5 minutes left in the second term. The Dockers lead by 2 points. They're 6-6 to 5-10 after the Swans had something like over a 3-goal advantage about 10 minutes ago. So Stafford may be awarded a free kick here. Now play goes on. Philandia's short kick has been marked by Kelly. Kelly is still behind the wing. No one moving on the half-forward line. So he just has to hang on to it for a slight second or three and then kick it to the opposition where Jeff White takes an unopposed mark across the half-back line.
Goes short. Leach. Half-back line doing very well for Fremantle in this last 15 minutes. Good kick to McManus, wasn't it? Spot on. He's got Hines in the pocket. Still got him. Too late now. Mann provides the first lead. He goes long in bandy direction. Dunkley at the back. Stafford. And that wasn't a great attempt to keep it in, but he gets away with it and out of play. So dangerous little patch here for Sydney. They've kicked 4 goals in a row, Fremantle.
Lucky he wasn't penalised then, wasn't he?
Pretty ordinary effort.
Yeah, it was.
Well, didn't even try to disguise it.
But another goal or two by the Dockers would give them a terrific ending to the second term, and they're on top at the moment. Stafford is going to get a free kick. So it's the second time in about a minute that or two that Stafford's had a free kick from. First one was a bounce down, and this one from a throw in.
He's totally confused now, Greg Stafford. Doesn't know what the umpire wants him to do.
Gives it off to Philandia. Wide towards centre wing. Kelly over the top, Allen. Kelly able to get back. Kick to the centre. Grant got paid. Chisholm to Mitchell. Mitchell's got Allen outside. Can still use him. He does now, and Allen can kick a goal, I think, from 50. Balances up. Just misses. But there are holes left, right and centre now in this Sydney defence.
Yes, they're just looking a bit ragged, that back half of the Swans. And Freo kicking 5 goals to 2 in this second quarter.
Kick in by Doreen, finds Roos. Roos goes out towards the wing. And Dale kick it. Abraham, Chapman there for the Swans. Kick it, still a chance. Now he's being penalised for not knocking the ball on. He probably had maybe one chance. Umpire right onto him. Maxfield's kick into the middle, gives it up. Mitchell nearly paid the mark. Yes, he is. A for effort there by Gavin Mitchell, and he's doing pretty well for the Dockers. Decides to go long and direct towards full forward. The ball knocked to the back. Philandia. Just looks as though he may have lost half a yard in pace after that injury that he suffered, was it last year or early the year before, late the year before?
Yeah, just in pre-season of 95 he was, Robbie, did his knee.
Yeah. He was always pretty exciting and powerful with that leg speed, but just today getting caught a little bit. The kick in the O'Loughlin direction, but it's taken by Abraham. He races on, has a look downfield, kicks towards the front of the square. Wills is there, the ball to the back. Spills in front of Peter Mann and goes over for a behind. And we may credit Winston Abraham with that. Nice long kick in towards the goal front. So 6-8 plays 5-10. Under a minute left in the first half of this match between the Sydney Swans and the Fremantle Dockers. 6-8 plays 5-10.
Doreen to bring it in. Got a couple of short options, but nothing 100% at the moment. So now he goes, kicks the ball straight out of bounds on the floor. Percentages weren't big though. Lewis was right up against the line. He had to kick it very accurately. Peter Mann to come in. No, going back to McManus. Mann, a better goal kicker. He was the leading goal kicker last year at the club.
That gives you an indication you're a bit rattled.
Well, the other thing being too, Robbo, if it's not on, this is where, and I know coaches want their players to keep possession, that's why they go short, but if it's not right, go long, head towards 50, knock the ball up towards the wing.
McManus across the face in the end, and another behind. Peppering away now, the Dockers. They're 6-9 to 5-10. Very late in this first half. That might be the last scoring opportunity. It will depend on what happens from this kick in. And Doreen will want to make it spot on after what's happened a moment ago. It goes down the centre to Lewis, who did tap it on. White gets it back though. Here's a late chance for the Dockers. Kickett's handball, not very good. Puts Mitchell under great pressure. White's tackle reasonable, but it's going to be a bounce down. And that's going to be it. So disappointing in by Sydney. Good effort by Fremantle. They came back strongly at half-time. They kicked the last 4 goals in the second term, and they've turned a 17-point deficit at quarter-time into a 5-point lead at half-time. And Sydney's lead at one stage in the second term had stretched out to almost 4 goals. So pretty disappointing, I think, from the Swans' point of view, and the momentum seems to be with Fremantle.
Yes, there's no doubt that the Swans have kicked themselves out of that lead that they had at quarter time, Bruce, and then the Dockers, within probably 5 or 6 minutes of footy, scored those goals and set up in their forward line so much better, and their skill level was much better, which was what the problem was last week and in the first part of this game today. Their foot skills particularly improved, and then obviously their shooting at goal was pretty spot on. It's given them the break by that 5 points at half-time.
It's the scoreline, 5-10, 6-9.
Four and then they would have been trailing, which is 6 shots you reckon he would have converted a bit better than that.
So we start the second half. Sydney going to the right of screen. It's been the scoring end. 8 of the goals have been down that end so far in the match out of 11. Allen out of the centre. Front spot. Good mark, Doreen in front of Rowe. Hasn't had many touches, Rowe. Doreen just had one big mistake before half-time in the kick-out situation, but started promisingly enough in the opening quarter. Kicks to centre wing. Dunkley, who may be having a run up the ground. Creswell's quick kick. O'Brien with him Harding. O'Brien gets another go back towards Dunkley. Chapman says leave it. Forces a handball towards Maxwell. Has to sit and wait. Just gave it up, unfortunately. Kick it onto it. Yeah, his trademark, the stop and sort of the prop, and then the give off. But Pitch McManus under great pressure. Yeah, good tackle by Maxfield. McRae gets it forward. Little give to Dunkley. He gets it out towards Kickett on his left side. Ridden into the ground. Play on called. Creswell there, umpire letting it go, and it'll be a bounce about 20 metres out.
I was looking to see where the umpire was. He was about 5 metres away, but just refused to put air in the whistle.
20 metres from the Swans' goal. Lockett coming into the rucking situation with O'Reilly. Goes to ground Lockett. Creswell over the shoulder. Misses a behind. 5-11 to 6-9. Fremantle by 4 points.
They have got bogged down, haven't they, with those chances they missed early. I mean, a couple of them they really should have converted.
Just takes your momentum away too, Robbo. You don't get that flow going.
So Chisholm to kick the ball back in for the Dockers. They lead 6-9 to 5-11. Norrish and Maxwell. Number 36 for the Dockers is Leach. The short kick goes to Leach, and he marks. Goes further down the boundary line, and Mitchell has taken the football. He runs away from half-back. He's going to nearly get caught, but he's able to get the hand pass to Norris. Norris, has he got any space? No! Down he goes and should be penalised. That decision not bad because the Swans weren't advantaged by the ball falling free. Short kick by Dunkley, goes to Huskus, in turn Dyson. Dyson in the Lockett direction, up goes Lockett, couldn't take the mark. The ball comes to the front. In trouble there was Kickett. Hand pass away, Mitchell. Exciting prospect, but just letting himself down a little bit, getting into awkward situations when he could have got the kick away. Wills now for Fremantle, punched away by Seymour. Only as far here as Abraham. No, Abraham, was it? Yes. And this has been taken now by Brad Rowe. Brad Rowe's kick inside 50 has been marked by Bandy. We saw Bandy kick a very good goal in the second term. He was deep in the right forward pocket on an extremely difficult angle, and he just popped it through so nicely. So this angle is a lot easier for him, but he's a little bit further out. He kicks it to the front of the square, and it is helped over for a rush behind to the Dockers. So a behind each so far in this third term, and Michael O'Loughlin on the bench, just being given a bit of a rub down by the trainers.
Doreen gets around his man, kicks into the centre, good kick to Lewis. This is a promising build-up to Grant. Goes in the O'Brien Lockett direction. Not a good kick. O'Reilly in the front spot. Lockett high on him. Free kick O'Reilly. Doesn't give away much, does he, Lockett, in any situation? O'Reilly restricted today. You can see the left thigh heavily strapped. Hasn't to run up the ground like he often does. Kicks to centre wing. Nice take by mark by Abraham. It's getting better as the game's going on. It's a really silky, smooth mover. That's not a particularly good kick, just a high ball, hoping. Man made it a contest. Wills held up by Ruse. And then by Creswell. So a few touches, Wills. He kicked the first match. Ruse. It's been handy. Nobody's really excited here today. Kelly had a burst early on, so did Lockett, but they've been thwarted a little. Lewis to Huskus, to Shannon Grant. Players running for him, including Kickett. Comes over the back. Dunkley might have been a chance. Now Kelly, shepherding by Huskus on Allen. Kelly can straighten up and go to Lockett. Doesn't quite get there. Chisholm mops up, takes on Dunkley. Does it well, and then kicks accurately out towards Jones. Fremantle come away at half-back. Jones goes for distance. Durkay the target. Stafford against him. Nice take by the big fella. Had the height advantage.
Chapman making position close to centre-half forward. But Stafford now goes short to Seymour. Seymour's got the chance to play on, and he goes into the middle of the ground where Huskus marks and is caught by Wills, and he's being penalised. The advantages with the Dockers. No, it's not. No advantage, so the umpire will ask for the football to come back to Wills in the middle of the Sydney cricket ground. Dockers lead 6-10 to 5-11, still a 5-point advantage. Early in the third term, both teams losing their first round matches. Wills, his kick into the left forward pocket, punched away by Ruse, knocked on by McRae. Chipping in is Godden. Godden off the left foot. Well, it was a scrambly old kick. Bandy caught. Could have nearly been penalised. Umpire just calls play on. Norris's kick to the square. Huskus does well. Ben Allen using his body to get between himself and his opponent and the football. Stafford. Hand pass. Kelly slipping over. Now they get clear. This is Dyson. Dyson into the middle of the ground. Lewis has got to go very, very hard. Knocked forward by Wills. McManus has a chance. Handball. Back to Ben Allen. Ben Allen across his left shoulder to the square. Knocked away again by the Swans defence. Kick forward there by Anthony Rocker. Back towards the centre. Now a chance for Cresswell. Gets it to Lewis. Lewis quickly. Kelly nearly tackled by Wills. A real scramble in the middle of the ground. Not much effective football. Now McRae gets it to Dyson. Dyson back onto his right foot, kicks and waits it. Oh, Yes, Maxfield. No, not paid. At the back. Chance for Chapman. Chapman's kick into the right forward pocket and just taking it over in front of himself was Stephen O'Reilly. The percentage play there, boundary throw in about 40 metres around from the Swans goal.
White, Hunter and McGovern on the bench for Dockers.
6'10" to 5'11".
Hines and Dunkley. Dunkley got a high tackle from Kickett, and you'll get a free kick.
Did a cramp, I think. I think so.
Might not want to take the kick.
Not a bad ploy, actually, because Dale Lewis is hanging around to have a shot, and he's a left footer in the correct pocket for him. And Dunkley with a similar kicking style to Bandy. Should take some half from the fact that Bandy popped one through from there, but...
So how much time has he got to recover from this before the umpire has to ask?
Well, I think the umpire should just say now, can you take your kick or give it to a teammate?
Mike Willisey a moment ago looking on.
He's not going to be conned by Dale Lewis. I think he's telling Chapman that he's got to come back and kick it if Dunkley can't.
Yeah, well done.
So Chapman to take the kick.
No, he's not set up yet.
He's going to have to come back. Dunkley cramping. And not sure how quick the recovery will be.
He's going to take his kick now. The umpire saying, if you're up and moving, you'll have to take your kick.
Well done, Andrew. It's a good try.
He's only kicked 7 goals in his career. So let's see if he can make it 8.
Well, if he kicks it, the Swans are in front.
He wouldn't have had a whole lot of shots over the years either. Just missed. So behind, 5-12, 6-10. He's running all right now, Dunkley. Chisholm to bring it back in. This game just needs a big goal from Allen or a burst by Kelly or a huge mark by Lockett.
The kick in by Chisholm is into the right back pocket where O'Reilly is marked. Lockett, the man on the mark, O'Reilly, elects to go, well, fairly long and wide out towards the wing, and a terrific mark taken by Hines. Coming from behind, made the football his. Kick towards the wing and a diving effort there by Peter Mann. The ball spills and we'll have a throw in. Well, he's been well checked by Paul Roos as Peter Mann. He was a terrific player for Fremantle all of last year. Boundary throw in on centre wing. Stafford from behind, Hines in front. Ball comes down to Norrish. Now Godden throws it onto his right foot. Gets the ball up towards half forward. Opportunity for Fremantle. Tackled when he didn't have the ball really was Abraham. Now McManus. He gets clear onto his right foot and goes for goal. And a good kick by McManus. That's a goal for Fremantle.
Centre long kick towards full forward. Bandy now. Abraham, who's a sharpshooter in the pocket, brings it across the face of goal and a behind. Getting some touches, Abraham. He's got 1-2. The goal in the second term. Fremantle have kicked the last 5 goals in this game. 4 of them before half-time. They lead 7-11 to 5-12. It's been a bit of a drought for Sydney. Huskus, his first kick in for the day. Gets it as far as he can to centre wing. Kelly and kick at his targets. It's had a quiet one. Wills, good job. A handball back in the Huskus direction. Got a lovely bounce. Looking for an option. Stretches, kick it a bit. He's on his wrong side. Right foot gets it to half forward. O'Brien, little shove, free kick to Harding. Struggled a bit, O'Brien, after a promising start today. Had a couple of chances in the opening quarter. He hit the post off the ground in the goal square and then missed one from about 35 metres. Hasn't done a lot since. Harding's kicked to centre wing. Man should get something there, but no. Wills out of play. Derek Kickett, the 33-year-old.
Suggest it's been a long while since the Swans have kicked a goal, Bruce. Probably halfway through the second quarter.
McManus went to go off the ground. Dennis Rich had a couple of thoughts about whether it was kicking in danger. Peter Philandia asking. And there'll be a bounce. 7-11 Fremantle, 5-12 Sydney. Creswell can't get clear. Mitchell just dropped it, didn't really take control though. Kelly, Creswell, everything in close quarters at the moment. Just no one able to break away, kick it. Just dropped it, Leach, when he got hold of it, but given the free kick, didn't have full control, just let the ball fall to the ground and got the free kick. He's kicked towards Chisholm. I was going to say it's a good one. Chisholm couldn't quite take it, runs away beautifully on Lewis and then goes short. Not quite to man, taken by Grant. His handball to Lewis.
Oh, Lewis too slow, much too slow, and he's being penalised for an illegitimate hand pass, and Abraham will take the free kick. So well done by Winston Abraham, right onto Dale Lewis there, and he's going to have a shot for goal from 50 metres, maybe just a little further. He'll land the ball close to the square, and Paul Roos gets back and takes a good mark. So the Swans just can't get anything moving. I guess you've got to give the Dockers credit. They've just checked them at every opportunity. Huskus runs through half-back and kicks out towards the wing. Knocked off the football there was Chapman by Kickett. The Swans fans airing their disapproval at the umpiring decision. And that was when the Swans kicked their last goal. So it is a long, long time between goals for the Swans. 5-12 to 7-11, the margin. 11 points in favour of Fremantle. Philandia caught with the football, but just able to get it clear. Maxwell, he squeezes a kick out in the direction of Lewis. Well tackled by Chisholm. Ball spills for Lewis. He gets the hand pass in out wide. Ben Allen, now O'Brien. Handball. They should have get one out of this. Maxwell, left foot shot by Maxwell. They've got a goal eventually.
7-11. Sydney with Dyson in the centre. Off the ground, McManus, the half forward. Mann and Abraham ran into one another. Grant getting some kicks at the back. He came on in the second quarter and played up forward. Here's O'Loughlin, who started impressively. He's had a couple of injury worries today to O'Brien. Starting to get busy again to centre half forward. Lewis with him at Chisholm to ground. Kick it. Kelly, great tackle. Had a fair bit of him. Play on called. And again, a wonderful tackle by Chisholm. Dunkley saying too high.
Yeah, a couple of solid ones there. Paul Kelly's always been great at tackling, and Dunkley saying the left hand was high, but up by pretty close.
Dunkley and Hines go at it. Abraham towards Mitchell. Had to stop and wait a bit. Norrish okay to Jones. Jones wide, centre wing. Stafford back. Bandy over the top. Rocker playing in defence. Durkay back to Norrish. I feel the tempo's just risen a bit for the last 4 or 5 minutes. Doreen and Rowe out of play. Right forward pocket. Kick the difference. About 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Fremantle 40 metres from goal. They've been hard to get all day. Norrish. Back to Abraham, capable of kicking this from 50. Lets fly, hooks it, and it's out on the full. So Roos not getting a hand to it. Good result for Sydney. Roos to bring it back in.
Roos, that we spoke about, that heavy padding on his right thigh, gets a kick away in the direction of Derek Kickett. He's able to keep it in, but not really to the Swans' advantage. McManus can run inside 50, and with his left foot, kick it out of bounds on the full. So,
although why would he go there? He was on his right to start with, then just took a couple of steps veered left. I mean, you're making it more difficult for yourself.
yes, and he looks as though he's a fairly experienced campaigner at Australian football. So letting himself down a little bit there. A chance there for Mitchell. He's tackled a bit too high there by may have been Kelly.
The first tackle was, yes.
And the free kick has been awarded to Gavin Mitchell, as we have another look at...
there it is. Kelly's first tackle was high.
And that one over the top there by Chisholm, but the free kick being awarded earlier to Mitchell. Now Hines has the football. 7 minutes left in the quarter. Kick it comes off for Chapman. Short kick is all right. And the mark is taken down here by Bandy. Bandy, with the slightly awkward kicking style, just struggles a little bit from this distance.
But the good thing about him at the full forward at the moment, Robbo, since he was placed there with Hunter coming off and Hines and White sharing the ruck work, is that at least he's a very much taller option and he's in better form.
He's providing something for the Dockers. This kick is pretty good. It'll go right for the line and cover the players for a goal.
Out of the centre for Fremantle. Rowe to Wills. Good chance here. Misses.
Well, Victorian saying it's a soda really from there for that sort of a player. Just don't miss those with his experience and abilities. The limited opportunities he gets, he's got to kick goals like that.
Let's kick 1-2 today, Wills. Kick the first goal of the match. A couple of goals to margin. Doreen wide. Creswell, the target. Very good mark. Held up, Lewis. Maxfield. Thompson. Lockett, the target, in a good spot. Couldn't quite get to the ball. The ball couldn't quite get to him. Going to ground, Chisholm. Accurately done. Harding, important ball here. Rose has just come on. Went very hard at the ball in McManus. Taken by Lewis. Clever. Straightens up to centre-half forward. Chipping in was Mitchell. Couldn't quite. Dunkley. Mitchell robbed him. Here's an opportunity for a breakaway to Bandy. Nice take by the big fella. Back to Mitchell. Through the centre. Keeps it neat. Now with Hunter. Hunter lets loose. And hooks for a behind. So Hunter back on the ground. He's got a couple of points today. Ross had an interesting stat on him at the start of the match. He hasn't kicked a goal in this is his 5th AFL match. Quite a few points, but this is the biggest margin the Dockers have had. They're 8-13 to 6-12, and problems for the Swans at the moment. Taken by Godden.
Well, I think we've got to start giving credit to the way these Dockers just close check the Swans. They just can't get the ball into the open, and the Dockers are relishing the way this game is being played. Rose with the football, gets it back to Ruse. Ruse goes to Doreen. Doreen now to Ruse. Ruse to centre-half back, Maxfield. He just throws it on his left foot and bangs it away towards half-forward. Awkward bounce. Rebounds back towards the wing. Taken by Grant. The smother was exceptional by Dale Kickett. And he's after it again. Well done. And, oh, he copped a very heavy knock in the face. It stopped him in his tracks. I think that for one fleeting second he thought he could go on, but...
I think he was just a bit tired after that run. He's just having a bit of a rest, but he certainly got one high.
And
I don't think it's an inconvenience him too much.
could he have get poked in the eye, maybe?
No, it slipped up that way, Rob, but it seemed to be more across the mouth. It was a terrific smother that he before just chased the player, put a hand out to stop the kick, controlled the football and backed up. Good effort.
Yes, that's inspiring stuff there by Dale Kickett for the Dockers with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. The Swans were a real big chance to move the ball down to their scoring area. And it breaks down with some terrific football by this player on screen. He'll get the Dockers in towards their 50-metre area. Up high was Hunter, couldn't take the mark. Godden has the football, tackled by O'Loughlin, away to Wills. Wills with some neat evasive tactics. Left foot kick towards full forward. No mark. Oh, attempting or nearly attempting was Brad Rowe to hack it out of mid-air, but it's knocked through for a rush behind to the Dockers. And they lead now by 14 points, 62 to 48. Lewis providing the lead for Doreen.
Goes in that direction. Creswell off hands, but wide and out of play. It's about half forward left, not quite up to there, but a long way from Sydney's goal. 4 minutes remaining. Derek Kickett has been on and off the interchange all day. Jamie Lawson watching on. What a pity he hasn't been able to continue his career. Saw him the week before in Adelaide before he had a terrible injury, and he was fantastic. Now there's a free kick here.
Yes, it's against Kickett pushing Philandia unnecessarily into the fence.
From that moment ago, the previous incident probably, Ross. And we got the smack across the mouth, but it's going to come back to Philandia. It's going to kick from 55 metres. Locker provided a lead.
You'd nearly have to say that the Swans would have to get the next goal if they're to win this game.
Well, there's no
I know
question momentum swung.
Well, it's only 14 points, but they've only kicked 6 goals.
Low scoring game, that's right. The lights are on too, Bruce.
Getting dark, isn't it? Right to the square. To ground. And Chisholm happy to concede. Yes, as Ross Glendine tells us, the lights have been turned on at the Sydney Cricket Ground. 6:13 to 8:14.
There was a change forecast for later on this afternoon for some heavy showers.
Harding gets it in short.
Harding is still within about 40 metres of the Swans' goal. Again, he elects to go short. It's O'Reilly, who's a long way down from full back. He is marking Lockett. Wills up high, couldn't take the mark. Away goes Bandy. Handball over the top. Godden going to get run down, but he gets the hand pass away. Dyson able to recover. Godden had him by the jumper. Chapman's hand pass back to the middle. Rose tries to knock it on. Maxfield caught, but gets it clear. Good shepherding provided. Dale kick it. In trouble was Hines. Mitchell tackled by Rocker. Some real strong stuff shown by both sides here in the middle of the ground. Can the Swans get it clear? They can. O'Brien and Kelly up towards full forward. O'Reilly and Lockett. Now is a chance for O'Loughlin. Go in and kick a goal, and he does.
7:13 to 8:14. Free kick in the centre to Hines. Sydney within 7 points. O'Loughlin's first goal for the match. Hines to full forward. Hunter worked underneath it. When I say worked underneath it, he didn't judge it very well himself. Handball by Dunkley to Seymour was a bit scrappy, but Huskus now. Kelly. Oh, that's a good effort. That's a great effort by Kelly. That never say die attitude coming into play to Huskus. Now on. Rocker up forward. Just got a shove from Jones. Harding with O'Brien out of bounds, right forward pocket. A couple of minutes to go in the third quarter.
You can understand now how Paul Kelly got the umpires' votes last year, can't you? He just plays that inspirational type of game. Just leads from the front.
Hines, Rocker, Hines getting it over the top. And then Norrish, just a little one off the deck, basically, about 10 metres further away, 60 metres from goal.
Played a bit of footy together, Norrish and Kevin Dyson, ex-teammates at Melbourne. Boundary throw in, 60 metres from the Swans' goal. Swans trail by 7 points. Rose doing the ruck work, then goes after the footy. And Mitchell will come up with it. The umpire will bounce right on the 50-metre line. Just under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. And Kelly hacked it out of there again. Chisholm taps it for Kickett. He's going to get caught by O'Loughlin, and he's being penalised. Well, do you deem that as the fact that on the first run out, he had a chance to keep going and get rid of it, and he ducked back and he was caught? Yes. So he's got to be penalised.
He's had the chance. So having the ball in front, Chisholm knocks it to Kickett, has a chance then to get rid of it, but avoids the player. So they're saying then he had a chance to handball or kick the ball, probably handball more appropriately, but not having done so, he gets pinged. That's where it's harsh, but that's the rule.
Fair enough. Michael O'Loughlin, if he can kick this, his second goal, would bring the game back to a 1-point margin in favour of Fremantle. His gentle-looking kick really was not with a lot of confidence, and he misses. So 1 goal, 2 to O'Loughlin. The margin is exactly a goal.
O'Reilly, and goal either way would be a big swing here. Sydney could close it to dead set level, or Fremantle could have a couple of goals up their sleeve. Going for distance, O'Reilly gets it well outside 50. Rose at the back. Godden's handball to McGovern on the ground to Ben Allen. Eludes a couple of tackles, then just a high one. And pretty wide and out on the full, so not good there by the captain. Hasn't been one of his big games. He's been asked to mind Kelly for a fair bit. It's been reasonable. Rose's kick inside 50, unattended. Harding plays it on to Chisholm. He was flat-footed, but he's so quick. Runs a fair way in the end, but straightens it up to centre half forward. Row to go. Good mark on the front, though, by Grant, who's looked better at the back. He's got a couple of options here. Maxfield, who should find him. He normally loves to run away in this situation. O'Loughlin all on his own. Decides to go to centre half forward. That's a terrible option. It might come off. No, Lockett couldn't quite. A couple of fumbles, kick it away, and gee, Maxfield missed a chance. O'Loughlin was all alone in the pocket, and away goes McGovern at centre half back. Brings it out towards half forward for Abraham. It's a good contest there. Roos tried to trap it, he gets it again. Handball over the top now, and there's another chance for Sydney. Late in the turn, Kelly tries to draw his man, goes to centre half forward. They need a marker, didn't get it. O'Brien. Will it go to Chapman? Still O'Brien now. Chapman in the pocket. Snap point. That'll be it at three-quarter time. So some late flurry there by Sydney, and what a wonderful opportunity Maxfield had on the other side with Michael O'Loughlin. 20 metres clear of anybody, 30 metres from goal.
And Bruce, that's the situation where the experienced player like a Maxfield should sum up and deliver the ball when it's been such a tight contest. That's what he's there for. And to use that experience, and particularly with his disposal skills, to find the right play, use the right option. Not to be, and again, Sydney just keep giving Freo the chance to stay ahead here.
They led by 5 points at half-time, Freo, and that's still the margin at three-quarter time. And it's been a tight, low-scoring game. Lockett unable to really get into it in that term. Still just the 2 goals. McManus has got a couple, and Bandy a couple for Fremantle. Rodney Eade. They've been feeling pretty tight at the moment. High expectations in this city and with this club at the start of 1996 after their rousing finish against Collingwood last year. But they're looking down the barrel a bit at three-quarter time. It's 7:15 to 8:14.
Rocker playing at fullback. Maybe they need him at centre half forward to spark it off, so hopefully it can be a very close game.
Commencement of the final term. Fremantle by 5 points. Philandia out of the centre to half forward. O'Loughlin, who's looked pretty good all day. He's got a goal and a couple of points to his name. Mitchell's been busy. Attack by Grant was good. Only back to half forward though. And in the front spot, Kickett, who's done some beautiful things at times and caught a couple of other times. Poor kick. Very bad, but hard centre wicket area with a bouncing ball. McRae couldn't control it. Wills' handball. Durkay onto it now on the left foot. And that's floating through for a behind.
It was a fortunate bounce, Bruce, from Kickett's kick in that middle, as you said. It just really did favour them, because it should have been attacked and come back to him.
Goal the difference, 63 to 57 in the low-scoring game. Both these teams struggled to kick goals in their opening round. Sydney kicked half a dozen, and Fremantle about the same against West Coast. Oh, just to Grant.
Was your heart in your mouth, Bruce?
Well, a goal.
I think Rodney Eads might have been. Adam Huskus has the football and kicks directly towards the line. Leading out there is McManus. He's taken it over in the finish. Just a little disappointed that the bounce wouldn't sort of sit up for him. We see Stafford and that looks like Cresswell behind the post there, having a spell on the bench. Boundary throw in. Rose is doing the ruck work. McRae and Wills. McRae does very well. He gets it now. Huskus dragged to the ground. Taken by Kickett. Kickett spots a player off to the left. There's 2 of them out there on their own. One of them is Godden. Godden off his left foot. Snapshot for goal. Gee whiz, it's a pretty good kick. Magnificent kick by Godden as a goal. Slung as he kicked and finishes up going straight through the centre.
We'll just watch it again, because he took too many steps and put himself under more pressure, and the idea was to he was trying to centre the ball, but as you said, as he was pushed, it actually made his kick drift closer toward goal and it goes through. So clever in the end, but a bit of an assist there from the push from an opposition player.
Good tackle by Mitchell Toulon Huskus at centre wing to stop it.
To stop it up.
They looked away, the Swans. 9:15, 7:15. This handy little break again for Fremantle. A couple of goals. Rose probably could have taken it out of the air. Kelly can't break through. Tackling of Fremantle and their stopping throughout the match has been a highlight. Kick it. Long handball to Ben Allen. Ben Allen to centre half forward. Peterman hasn't grabbed too many today. Punch away by Dunkley. Sitting and waiting is Durkay. Tries to shrug one, gets it to Mann. Mann goes for goal, drifting back but a behind. And the leading goal scorer last year misses. So that's his first score for the day.
Sorry, Bruce. Spent time on the bench too in the third quarter. Even had a chance then to take a few more steps and straighten up, but some talking wasn't there from his teammates to let him know that he was clearer than he thought.
So Doreen now being asked by the central umpire in charge in that area to kick it in quickly. He does, gets it to Seymour. Seymour looking to run away from the full back line. Handballs to Grant. Oh, in all sorts of trouble here. Chapman gathered by Abraham. In goes Rose. Puts his body in. Seymour will lock it up. And the umpire will bounce. About 35 metres out from the Fremantle goal. They lead 9-16 to 7-15, so the odd behind that they lead by might be important in the wrap-up of this game. David Hines has the football, kicks it back towards the goal front, and a good mark taken back there by Dunkley. Dunkley with no one really to kick to. Dyson has made position, and a wobbly old punt kick finishes with Kevin Dyson. We saw him do one of those in the first quarter. Gave it up to Wills, and Wills kicked a goal as a result of it. This kick goes out towards the wing where the good mark is taken by Hines. Gee, the tall players don't get any shorter, do they? As the game wears on, those big fellas start to stand up, and David Hines is one of them. He gets the ball to Godden. Godden is about 65, 70 metres from goal. He'll kick it to within scoring distance for the Dockers. No mark. The ball comes to the front. Durkay throws it on his right foot. Big punch away by White. Only as far as Huskus. Huskus finds Philandia. Can the Swans mount something here? The kick into the middle has been marked by Kelly. Looks to play on. Kicks it to a vacant wing area. The race is on here between O'Brien and Harding. Give Harding a bit of credit there. He's just completely shut O'Brien out of this game. Hasn't had many stats himself, but Craig O'Brien has found possessions very, very hard to come by. And on centre wing, we'll have a boundary throw in.
Scotty Chisholm comes off too, a bit of a crook right ankle, I think it is, and Quinton Leach to come on.
McRae out on the full, under pressure, so Sydney giving it up.
Just a word too about Harding. Robin Debut last week I thought was pretty good and played on a taller player, and today he's had to play on a shorter one, so pretty adaptable.
Durkay off and Chisholm to take the kick. At half-back. Ruse underneath, or Abraham went early and gave away a free kick to Doreen. Left-hand handball good. Dyson, who can kick the football accurately in long distances. O'Reilly in the front spot. Lockett giving it away.
Sorry, Bruce, did I say Durkay, did I?
Durkay's off, yeah. You said Chisholm.
Yeah.
So Chisholm's still on now. Mitchell has been good.
I think he's been terrific, Mitchell. He's just made a couple of blues, but he's been there, hasn't he? Tackling, chasing.
He's got a bit of it.
Oh, my word.
So centre wing is Durkay. Getting the deep massage in the calf. 7:15 to 9:16. O'Reilly's done pretty well on Lockett too, after Lockett had a lot of chances in the first half. McRae to centre half forward. O'Brien couldn't quite. Maxfield bursts through. Lockett a chance now. Good kick. This is a very big play for Sydney.
Just a bit of vision, turn around, have a look downfield. We saw in the three-quarter time huddle that Dean McRae was talking quite at length to Maxfield, obviously, about that situation in the third quarter in the pocket where he didn't pass off correctly. But that time, it's ideal. That's what you want.
So a really important kick for Tony Lockett. He's missed a few, and Sydney need it very badly. He's going to kick from about 40 metres out. It's looking good. He's got it.
Forward once again, the Swans. O'Loughlin dispossessed. No, he goes after it again. Kelly kicks it forward to the goal front. Lockett. Yes, he's got it. He's kicked 1,012 goals, Tony Lockett, from 204 games. Nearly 5 a game. Coming up for his 4th goal here. O'Loughlin did well to force it into a one-on-one situation. Kelly kicked it quickly, and he's a hard man to displace if he's got that front position, Tony Lockett. So if he can capitalise here, the margin will be just a behind in favour of the Dockers. He kicks, and kicks accurately. From the Burley full forward, and it is just 1 point.
There's no question, Robbo, as you mentioned, he's such a hard player to move off the foot in. If you give him enough opportunities, he'll always be in the game. There's no doubt he wanted to rectify his own performance of last week with just the 1 goal. And a hard man to beat in that situation.
Rowe coming on for Leach. Crowd getting right behind their Swans now. O'Reilly and Lockett, 4 goals to the big fellow. 9:15 to 9:16. Plenty of time for a lot to happen now in this game. Centre square is going to be so important. Oh, Allen's going to get a free kick.
Against Maxfield, I think.
Just a touch high. He's a long kick, Ben Allen. He can put this right down deep, but he's going to go wide, looking for Abraham. We've gone very wide here. Peter Mann has been sluggish all day. Back to Abraham, over the top to Rowe. He's just come on in the pocket. That's a behind. But he's going to centre it for a moment. Tried the old chick side. Banana kicking as a point.
Nothing like a bit of glory late in the game when a goal off your own boot might win the game.
You've always been a show, buddy.
Tureen to bring her back in.
Long time ago, Ross.
Couple of points of difference in a huddle here. The Swans now breaking. Can't afford to turn it over. Rose, the target, a centre half back, finds him. Oh, gee, back to Doreen, put him under great pressure and under the new rules. You've got to be lucky, and that's too short again. Dyson's gone. Holding the football. Advantage given.
Oh, not an advantage.
It's going to come back. It's coming back. Got to clean that part of the umpiring up, I think, don't you?
I mean, I think you're right that if you pay the advantage, but sometimes it's your first thought, you've got to see. It's very hard to have the good vision to see what's around, but then have you really penalised them the good smother by the Swans player? Once the Rowe picks up, the advantage is there. He did have the advantage, but then it was a good smother, so it's a grey area.
And it's an area that leads to inconsistencies, unfortunately, because
it's confusing.
Each situation is different. Well, Wilkes kicked 1 goal so far today, and he's kicked his second.
Back in the centre, the Swans may get clear. Kelly, a hand pass. Grant slaps it onto his left foot. Lockett leaves it behind. O'Loughlin, can he shrug the tackle of McGovern? He can. Taps it to the ground, and then a little pass in towards centre half forward for Landia. Back he goes to O'Brien. O'Brien's snapshot will be marked in the square by Chisholm. Chisholm plays on quickly. Gets the ball down towards half back where it's marked by Norwich. Taken away by that player. Kicks towards half forward. Roos certainly looks a little hampered by that thigh. But he gallantly chases after the football and forces a boundary throw in about 65 metres around from the Fremantle goal. The Dockers lead 10-17 to 9-15. It's an 8-point margin. And at one stage in the second term, Sydney led by nearly 4 goals. So it's been a good dogged effort by Fremantle. Bandy does the ruck work and gets his right fist to it. Godden, has he kept it in? Yes. Right in front of the boundary umpire. Short pass has found the captain, Ben Allen, and he's 50 metres from goal. He'll kick it and put a lot of pressure on the Swans' defence. Up high there was Hines, but it clears the players on the line and goes through for a behind to Fremantle. 10-18 to 9-15. 9 points is the margin now with 11.5 minutes left. The short kick in goes to Huskus.
And then the floater to Dunkley, to Dyson, to McRae, back to Dyson. Stafford eludes, then goes to Gord's kick it. Big fly, did well actually. O'Brien will get a free kick. Oh no, it's going against Kickett. Must have been before the O'Brien situation. O'Reilly gets it. Must have hurled somebody up on the way down. So that's an important decision, and Norwich with it. So Maxfield back towards O'Loughlin, missing him. Harding has played well to Norrish. McGovern takes a long time, but his kick's got everything on it he wanted. Into towards the pocket. Seymour be forced to defend here towards the boundary line, and that's where he's going to find it. Nope, not going out. Man, Rose goes to him. Man, back towards Wills, out of play, about 80 metres from Fremantle's goal.
Maxfield in the third quarter missed a target out on that left half forward with a kick, blasted away to centre half forward, and then missing his target with the hand pass. Two crucial misses.
And O'Brien a couple of minutes ago, when he did snap over the shoulder, had kick it all alone in a goal-kicking position as well.
Handballed off.
Yep. So not happening for Sydney. Stafford coming off and Creswell coming on for the Swans. They're only a goal and a bit behind, but they've been so hard to get for the Swans that you just don't feel they're capable of bursting with 3 or 4 in a row. So one more to Fremantle could be the ball game. Oh, good handball inside by Allen to Bandy, and he's kicked a couple of nice ones today and misses an easy one running into an open goal. That may have been enough had he kicked it. In the context of this game, there's Greg Stafford, 10-19 to 9-15, but Bandy's been promising. Been a good effort by him. Doreen to kick it in. He's been a bit shaky on these. Gets it out wide to Shannon Grant. Grant plays it on. Wants Dunkley. He takes his time running after it. And out of play.
Certainly out. There's no doubt about that.
Well, Andrew Dunkley's not protesting, so 10 minutes left in the last quarter. It's 10 points the difference. Daniel Bandy and Gavin Rose. Rose in front. Norrish, no Gotten. Kelly the tackler. In the back, and that's the way it's being indicated by the less experienced of these three umpires, David Howlett, Dennis Rich, and this is Matthew Norden. Tony Godden, he looks as though he could play a lot of senior AFL footy with Fremantle, Ross.
Yes. Yep.
He's kicking towards the forward pocket area. Off the ground, Brad Rowe, well done. Hines, can he get clear? Mann, snapshot by Peter Mann, is a goal.
Point margin after Peter Mann kicks his first goal for the match. Holding the ball against McManus. Maxfield to take it. Not sure if he can get as far as Lockett. He's coming wide towards Kickett. Some danger here, though. Kickett's had a pretty ordinary old match. Straightens up, tries a torpedo punt across the face. Lewis could take. That's no, not played. I thought he had a fair bit of that, but the way they come. And Chisholm to rebound to centre half forward to Bandy. Sydney in trouble here. They started this match as warm favourites with the bookmakers, but that form in Adelaide mightn't have been too far off their early season mark, because they've struggled today. Mitchell turning Roos inside out in the end, missing Hines. Mistakes left, right and centre here. Allen to try to go forward. Dyson to weave his way through. Does now. Gets good distance on the kick. Lewis is in the box seat. Takes that one. Can get it on quickly. Lockett goes now. They've got the numbers. O'Brien probably didn't help Lockett there. Can take it on the second attempt sometimes, the big fellow, as he did earlier. And it's going to be a ball up. Tony unhappy.
I think you're right, Bruce. Brian coming back made it pretty difficult for Lockett.
Repeated his run, didn't he? He'd taken one on the second grab earlier in this quarter where he took the mark. Well, O'Reilly was unlucky not to get a free kick there. Harding shrugs the tackle into the centre. Mitchell caught. Bandy. Fremantle go forward again. Hunter, Grant, free kick.
So the Swans have the possession of the football at centre half back. They trail by 16 points. We've got 7.5 minutes left in the game. It really would be larceny if they got out of this, because the Dockers have done well since about midway through the second term. The kick by Grant into the middle of the ground, and it's been marked by Lewis. Look to give the hand pass away, and then kicks in towards the forward line. The mark is taken. That could be 50, is it? Against Chisholm? No. O'Brien paid the mark, but no 50-metre penalty. Takes a safe chest mark, then he's dumped and pushed into the ground. Well, once upon a time it was a 50-metre penalty. But
It's interesting, Robert, because you said in the early part of the game you thought all the decisions were going for Sydney. Turned around a bit, hasn't it?
Oh, well, I suppose they even up by the end of the day. O'Brien shot for goal, endeavouring extra distance. He's hooked the kick and registers a behind. So 1 goal, 3 to Craig O'Brien. Inaccuracy by the Swans. 4 goals, 4 to Lockett. 2 behinds to Cresswell. 1-2 to Maxfield. 1-2 to O'Loughlin. And they've paid. Although on the other hand, of course, the Dockers 11-19. And they still lead by 15 points. They're 85 to 70. 7 minutes left.
Chisholm long, McManus the target. McRae, good job to get back.
Yeah.
He's going to be paid. He did well, didn't he, Ross? Because he was out of position.
That's right, and you've got to pay the man in front. It's the right decision. He had as much purchase on the footy as McManus.
McRae to Lewis in the pocket. With him, Allen. Jones back. No real pressure. Oh, poor handball. Out of play. Now, Sydney have got to get a goal out of this. They've got time. There's 6.5 minutes to go. They're 2.5 goals behind, but they're deep in attack. They need some inspiration from somewhere, and they must score from this attack. Or else they'll be 0-2 after this match tonight. Kelly trying to get through. McGovern, Hines, Norrish, Abraham. Not looking good for the Swans. As away comes Abraham with a third bounce. Man leading for him. Handball through the centre. Not taken cleanly by Rowe. Ruse gets back to Huskus. He's in trouble. Gets his handball. Rose in tight to Dunkley. Put Ruse under great pressure. Quick handball away. Bandy snap. This is close. I think he's got it. That would be it, you'd think.
Excellent player, Daniel Bandy, for the Dockers. Kicked his 3rd goal. Fremantle's 12th. The margin now 21 points. You would think the Dockers should win the game from here. Dale kick it. Hand pass. Out wide. Chance for Abraham. Runs down to 50 metres. Could nearly ping this. He just lopes in and thumps away and hits the post. So 1 goal, 3 to Winston Abraham. He's been a good player for Fremantle. 12 goals, 20 to 9-16. 22 points is the margin.
Doreen takes Hunter on. Back to Huskus. McRae short. At half-back. Got to take a lot of chances here, Sydney, but they're seemingly out of it. Kelly in the centre. Goes on now. Back to Maxfield. Lockett in a wrestling match with O'Reilly. And
down the field.
Against Lockett.
Yep. So we'll come back to one of the Dockers players, Norwich perhaps.
Lockett not happy with David Howlett's decision, but Norwich to take it. So there's been a really disappointing afternoon for Sydney, but on the other hand, Fremantle now starting to finish it off with a bit of style, and now free kick to Man. At about 45 metres against Seymour. Just held on to too long after he got rid of it. Peter Mann with a goal in the final term. Only the 4 kicks, 1 mark. He's had a quiet day, but he looks like he'll finish with a couple of last quarter goals, and they'll be important. Guides that one. He's pushed it and missed. Don't think it's going to matter much, though. They're home and hosed on the scoreboard. 12-21 to 9-16. 1 goal, 2 to Peter Mann. Poor return for Sydney, isn't it? 9 goals today. At 5 at the 5-minute mark of the 2nd quarter.
The ball goes back in towards the Fremantle forward pocket and eludes Shannon Grant. So we'll have a boundary throw in. About 25 to 30 metres around from the Dockers goal. Peter Mann, snapshot for goal. May have been touched off the boot. No, well, the umpire blew the whistle as if it was a mark. But the Swans just go right on with it. Dunkley, McRae, running through half-back. eventually forced to kick with his left foot, and not bad in the finish. Kelly on his chest. The two captains have had a terrific tussle. Ben Allen and Paul Kelly. Both been good for their respective teams. Doreen's run a long way up from full back. Kicks it into the centre where Chapman has taken the mark. He can give it on to Maxwell. Elects to go for the hand pass and find Grant. Grant in towards Lockett, and Lockett is marked. You would suggest he's within scoring distance. He's got to kick the ball nearly 50 metres to score. But not quite the accuracy by Tony Lockett today. He's had 8 shots for 4 goals. I think he'd have 8 shots and you only had 7 kicks, Bruce.
Well, he has
That's not fair, that statistician, putting that stat up, is it?
He has had 8 shots.
Lockett from 45 metres. Not a bad kick, and hits the post. So posters would be equal, I would think, now. Tony Lockett, 4 goals, 5, 9-17 to 12-21. 22-point margin with 3.5 minutes left. The Dockers leading.
McGovern gets it from Chisholm. He's been on the interchange for most of the day, McGovern. Back into the team today. He's played a lot of footy, of course, on this ground. Well, he's in a bit of trouble. He ran a long way, but makes the play and effective to McManus. He's going to go over the top. He's gone.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Gee, now that's the inconsistency.
That's
surely.
right. Yep.
Kick it through to Norrish. Norrish has kicked towards it. Man, that's not bad either. Well weighted, gets him on the chest. So Peter Mann coming into the game very late.
Yes, there's no doubt, Bruce, that decision not going against Freo there is the inconsistent way that the interpretation can sometimes come forward.
Just wonder every now and then if the umpires forget the new rules on and go back to what's instinctive and what they've been used to over a number of years. Mann's kick from the pocket, and Peter Mann's got it. So he's going to finish up with a reasonable day's work after not doing a lot for 3 quarters.
Yes, he was well tied up by Paul Roos, which there's no question Paul Roos, he's not the player he used to be, but certainly does a very good job and just nullifying players, getting a few touches. Rodney Eade said he kept Robin quiet last week, particularly today, had Mann off the ground. So Mann coming back onto that full forward area, just kicking a couple.
So a lot of the fans streaming out of the ground now. Disappointed. 2 games, 2 losses for the Swans. Derek Kickett, he's had a very quiet day. Rose just hemmed in. Oh, that's a free kick.
Frustration.
And Paul Kelly, the infringer there. The free kick will go to Hines. 2 minutes left. So a good win for the Dockers. They were marked in the paper as very, very much the underdog. 2-1 as against 13-4 on Sydney. So McManus close to the line, gets it to Wills. Wills goes for goal. He's kicked 2. It'll land right at the front of the goals. Doreen just able to get his foot to it. Only as far as Abraham. He slips the Seymour tackle. Kicks for goal, does Winston Abraham, and misses just across the face and through for a behind. He looks as though he's in a little bit of strife there. May have turned an ankle there in his attempts to get his kick away. Quickly attended to by the trainer. 13-22. So the century up for the Dockers, and they lead by 29 points.
And maintain their unbeaten record over Sydney. 3 out of 3 now. Beat them here late last year when Lockett kicked his 100th goal in 1,000th in his career, and got right on top of their big score of the year in Perth earlier in the year. Kick it well played to Godden. Godden towards Mann. Moving all that well, but starting to become pretty effective. Wins the ball from Dunkley. High ball. It's a cool play on. Rose coming in, only as far as McManus in the pocket. Still working it in front. Could kick a goal from there, but that's poor. Just floats it. Had a bit more time, I think, than he realised, and out of play. And there's Winston Abraham, still in a bit of strife. Just thinking, Robbo, it's going to be a long time, I think, before Sydney start 13-4 on in any match again. They just have not travelled like long odds-on favourites, have they, at any stage today? They're not in wait-for-age form. They're not the big O, that's for sure.
Yes, the suggestion is there that
Harding's kick.
they didn't get the prices right.
Oh, I think they're entitled to be favourite coming in, but they just haven't played well, but maybe not that short.
Well, after their performance against Adelaide last week, do you think? What was about 16 goals, wasn't it, or 15 goals?
I think it... No, poor old Abraham. Let's hope he's okay. He's had a very good match. Free kick going to Rose in the back pocket. In the last minute of what's been a pretty disappointing match. Flat old game, but good effort by Fremantle. They'll be happy with this early win in the season, maintaining the momentum that they created for themselves last year. I think they surprised a lot of people with how well they did throughout the course of a long, arduous first season in the AFL.
And this is probably their toughest road trip outside Brisbane too, Bruce, so it's a pretty good effort.
Long way to come, as you'd know, and they've done it well.
One way to go home.
But not as winners. It's a good trip.
Oh, my word.
Be a tailwind all the way.
What about the announcer on the ground? He's trying to get them to give a cheer to Sydney, Bruce. Not getting much response.
Kicker gets it from Chapman. Little chip to Lewis. Hasn't done enough, Lewis, has he? But siren sounds. And that's the end. With Sydney 9-17, being well beaten in the end by Fremantle 13-22, a 29-point margin. I think a fair reflection too on what happened, particularly when you consider that at the 5-minute mark of the second term, Sydney were close to 4 goals in front, and the Dockers have had a 9-goal turnaround from that point on and really have dominated the game after the early stages of the second term. 100-71, Roscoe. As we go down, and Russell Morris is with David Hines.
Yes, David, congratulations on the win. How does it feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's great that we got away with the win today. I think we started really poorly, and the Swans were obviously pretty enthusiastic early, and probably let us off the hook by bad kicking for goal. So it was a good one to get back in the game and actually win.
Did Jared mention that to you at quarter time with their Swans bad kicking?
Oh yeah, he mentioned that we weren't playing very well, and I mean everybody knew that, but obviously they let us off the hook to a certain extent because they probably could have been 4 or 5 goals up.
How'd you find it travelling across the Nullarbor to Sydney? Like, it's a long trip for you. The boys close together.
Oh yeah, it's a long trip, but it's part and parcel of AFL footy today, so you know, we do it quite often.
What about yourself, settling in well from being at West Coast?
Yeah, it's been a good change, you know. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a different style and a different club, and it's been really good.
Well, congratulations, and hopefully you have some a lot more success for the year.
Thanks very much.
And he did his bit again today, Hines, didn't he? He's a class act when he gets the ball.
No question his value, Bruce, is to be able to play up and down the spine on the ball. He started on a flank. I mean, he really is that versatile type of player with his athleticism and his ability to run all day. It's an important one.
So the final scores at the Sydney Cricket Ground, Fremantle comfortably in the end over Sydney, 13-22 to 9-17.